Me he quedado dormida de mi
Que no, ya mis seguidores están pendientes. A ver, el uno. A ver.
Hey 1K, what's up? I'd never heard of it before, but it sounds fascinating. I mean, imagine exploring a place inside yourself that you didn't even know existed. Might really give you a new perspective. Or it might be really stupid, but it's probably cool. I don't know. It all looks pretty abandoned to me. But maybe it is all a test. I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to believe that everything happens for a reason. That there's some external force that gives us purpose and meaning. But then I think about all the horrible things that happen to people, and I can't accept that those things were meant to happen. That they couldn't have been avoided. So in that sense, I agree. We should find our own meaning. But to be completely honest, I find it hard to just impose meaning on the world. I'm not as driven as someone like Byron. I feel more moved by Miranda's recordings than by my own ideas. It's hard to square that with the cruelty of the world, but it would be nice, yeah. I don't get involved with that. I think we should discuss everything openly and then vote, not play games behind each other's backs.
I've had a closer look at the Somnodrome. It's based on the original prototype with some modifications. As usual, the data is a mess, but I strongly suspect there might be a functional version somewhere.
I know some of you have heard stories about the answers this device might reveal, but please remember, that is not our main priority here. Keep an eye open for it, but focus on finding Athena. How can I help you? Then at least we may be able to find out what happened in New Jerusalem, why she came here. But I don't think she left the island. I think she's still here, waiting for us to make the right choices. It would be nice if something good happened for once, wouldn't it? I think every single human being is completely unique, and every instance of consciousness is a miracle. The more of us there are, the more alive the universe is. And the more we all interact with each other, the more complex the life of the universe becomes. So I believe that people are a fundamental good. I don't believe we're all flawless, but I think every one of us matters precisely because nothing else does. Look, self-reflection is important, but only thinking about yourself, your inner identity, becomes narcissistic. You exist, whether you like it or not, in a dialectical relationship with the world. Identity has no meaning without society, and society has no meaning without the individual. It's in that tension that we really come into being. Okay? How many robots does it take to change a light bulb? Replacing a light bulb is a waste of resources, and the founder would be outraged. Herman didn't seem to think so. Could be, yes, of course. All technology has the potential to be misused, from fire and the wheel to whatever makes these particle clouds. But that doesn't mean it has to be. In the principle of it, no. It's not just that I believe humanity is fundamentally good, although I do. It's that I think sentience is the foundation of everything else. What's the point of stars and galaxies, of hills and forests, without someone to perceive them? But my faith that we can actually grow up, that we can break out of these loops and take control of our destiny, that's something I struggle with every single day. Herman, honestly, I think he makes people feel safe. The world beyond our walls is frightening. Human history is full of failures and disasters. It's easy to look at that and recoil. Herman offers a vision of the future that feels contained, manageable. Precisely. Our curiosity, our creativity, our ability to grow, everything that made us who we are. To me, that's not worth it. Athena was always trying to understand the reality underneath what we perceive, the objective truth. That's why she was capable of leaving the simulation. And even after she was free, she never stopped trying to understand more. I suspect her research took her another step closer to understanding the truth. And such steps always challenge our conception of the universe. But that's the wonderful thing about science. We can adapt our views to the evidence. Because they refused to grow up. They refused to take control of their lives. They let bureaucrats and financiers determine their destiny, and those people could not think beyond themselves, beyond the tiny, insignificant moment they were trapped in. Their technology could have saved them, but what really failed them was their imagination. In the sense of an interventionist deity? No. I wouldn't rule out the possibility, but it's not something I personally believe. But I do think there is something genuinely sublime in this universe, and it's right in front of us. Consciousness. The fact that this sense of self is even possible, that an arrangement of matter can produce a self-aware mind? Think about it. It's a fundamental property of the universe, an unbreakable law that matter has the inherent capacity to become more than the sum of its parts. That is the definition of transcendence. Well done, 1K. Keep going.
Wandering around these landscapes, solving puzzles. In a way, 1K's experience must be very similar to Athena's in the simulation.
There's one difference, though. Athena was alone.
often think about how many cities there are out there under the ocean. Cities where people lived for thousands of years. Cities with their own history, their own culture. All of it lost under the waves. If they'd been less greedy, they could have kept all that.
I don't think we can pass moral judgment on an entire species based on the decisions of a handful of leaders. But I do think they made a mistake. They stopped caring about what they built. They stopped seeing the romance of civilization.
Very smart one, Kay. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound surprised. I mean, like, clearly you know what you're doing.
Hear me, friend, and heed my words. Beware Pandora. She is nothing but fear and despair, and she will do anything to prevent you from reaching the flame. It is she who disrupted the trials of the Sphinx, and who bound me in the...
Well done, 1K. Looks like our hypothesis was correct. The megastructure is opening again. Everyone come to the VTOL, please. It's time to find Athena.
What about Pandora? She seems capable of displacing or controlling the other entities.
We should be careful, but we can't let such a vague threat paralyze us. Just keep your eyes open.
Something I really like about Alex, one of the reasons why I'm here doing this, is that she's really humble. She has this incredibly positive view of humanity. She believes we can accomplish anything, but it's not about her. She doesn't think that she's smarter or better than anyone else. She just looks at us as a species, and even though she can see how small we are in the grand scheme of things, she thinks that we could conquer the stars and give meaning to the universe. Even now, even when none of us are going to live to see it. Isn't that awesome?
Mother, can I suggest something?
Of course, go ahead.
The southern part of the island is completely dead. No animals, no plants. The soil is too alkaline for anything to live except bacteria.
Yes, that's why it's a good location for some of the experiments.
Well, if we want to show that we can make the cosmos more beautiful, then why don't we start there? The desert doesn't have to be dead if we modify the...
You may wonder why I insist on these unsanctioned, unplanned expeditions. Some think it is because I hate civilization and prefer to lose myself in nature. This is precisely the opposite of the truth. It is because I love New Jerusalem that I have to leave. Because it is only when I am here that I fully appreciate what the city means. And also because I believe that if I stayed at home, I would one day be ethically compelled to commit acts of violence against those who, in their arrogance, imagine that humans should live in harmony with the chaos that surrounds us.
There's something I've been thinking about. I know the New Alexandria disaster was traumatic. I know accidents like that make us think that it's best to stick to what we have. But what about all the accidents that have happened in New Jerusalem that nobody talks about? The collapse of the Rakovsky building. The Calvin Street explosion. The derailment that almost killed Benaroya and Canada. All of those happened because we stopped investing enough resources in our civilization. And if Melville hadn't been put in charge of city maintenance, this would still be happening.
It will happen again, either way. With how little we have to work with, it's only a matter of time.
You see, there may be a price for pursuing progress, but there's also a price for not pursuing it.
All right, here we go again.
Our main objective is to determine the relationship between the megastructure and Athena. Did she find it? Did she build it? Why was she here in the first place? Explore, dig up anything you can. We need to start finding answers.
I can't imagine one person building all this.
Don't forget about Miranda. There were at least 2 of them.
I can't imagine 100 people building this.
All right, everyone. Have a look around, but stay in touch and be careful.
1K, can you stay a moment? I'd like to talk to you. I know you can't wait to start exploring, but just hear me out, okay? I'm concerned. Byron is brilliant, but all he can think about is the possibility of finding Athena. She was his mentor, and her disappearance shattered him. I'm afraid he's not seeing the dangers of the megastructure. To me, this place seems chaotic, dysfunctional. Yes, it's all very impressive, but I think it's broken. And what we're seeing is, it's nonsense, frankly. You've interacted with it more than anyone. What do you think? Then just be careful, okay?
I'm headed deeper into the megastructure. Not quite sure where I am. Seem to be right in the middle of the machinery.
Please, watch yourself, Byron.
This is incredible. I don't even know how to describe what I'm seeing. I don't think this is a building. I think this is a machine.
Why don't you just tell people that they're wrong? If you tell them the truth, they'll listen.
It's not that simple. Straton wrote that the most common error we commit is to think that ideas determine reality, when in fact the opposite is true. Ideas follow from material conditions. Belief systems are formed to explain and justify the way we live. We did not have kings because we believed in the mandate of heaven. We believed in the mandate of heaven because we lived in monarchies.
But we have free will.
Oh, free will isn't the same as freedom, Miranda. We're not free from the constraints of reality or history. I was shaped by the simulation. New Jerusalem is shaped by its limitations.
So, what? We're just trapped? History can only go one way?
Maybe, maybe not. The question is, how do we free ourselves? How do we build a world where our ideas do shape reality? That's why we came here.
I knew it! Athena's here. She built this.
That other voice, was that Cornelius?
It definitely sounded like him.
Come to think of it, he went on a research expedition around the time Athena vanished. He was gone for years. People thought he'd died.
And all this time, he knew where she was?
We should talk to him.
We will, when we get back. But right now, we have to focus on finding Athena. We are so close.
Are those surfaces magnetic?
No, it's anti-gravity. Your coot was right. I should have known.
"1K, I'm over here. Hold on. I'll open that door for you."
Same pattern as before. 3 beams, 3 receivers.
I guess we know what to do.
Be careful. The sheer amount of power running through this place.
I'll take care of this puzzle. You do the other 2, okay? This is kind of fun. Maybe Alexandra Drennan was right. Play is part of what makes us human. Got it. Melvin, is there anything in the system that could tell us where Athena is?
I don't know. Someone's logged into the system. But when I try to access that information, it all glitches out.
alarm anyone, but I think the ground is shaking.
According to the system, whole parts of the interior are moving around. Like...
This is fascinating. They were both here, Athena and Cornelius. They had a plan. I found a file that... I can't...
Byron's trapped in the overload. He's failing to disconnect.
The whole system's going haywire.
1K, get out of there! Everyone back to the VTOL! We have to go. Now, 1K, get moving!
We can't just leave Byron behind.
Yakut, we have no idea where he is or what's happening to him. But right now, if we stay here, we could all die.
The system's going completely bananas. Energy spikes everywhere.
We'll come back for Byron, I promise.
What have you done, you fools? Mortals are not meant to tread these halls. Why will you not heed my warnings? I am not trying to harm you, creatures of clay. All I wish is to protect you and the rest of your kind. What more must I do to make you understand? If you cannot be reasoned with, I must bar your path.
Move, 1K, move!
These energy emissions are messing with the VTOL systems. Okay, I think I've got it working. Get here quickly, 1K.
Come on, get in! Get us out of here, Yakut.
Okay, we're out. Now what?
Looks like the southern sites are active. The readings are strangely jumbled, though.
Should I set us down?
Yes, but just to drop off Melville.
What?
We're going back to New Jerusalem. This situation has gotten out of control. We need to regroup. Rushing in blindly isn't going to save Byron. But we also need someone to stay here and keep an eye on things. Melville, that's you.
All right. I'll see if I can make any sense of these systems while you're gone.
Just keep a safe distance, okay?
Will do.
Good. Well, 1K, I guess it's time for you and me to take a nap.
Do not lose hope, my child. In these difficult moments, find solace in your friends and in the home that you share.
Here we are. Got an update from Melville. The power spikes are continuing, but no news from Byron.
All right. Thank you, Yakut. You get the VTOL ready for the next trip. I'll talk to the mayor. 1K, please head over to the Museum of the Simulation and talk to Cornelius. Let's see what he has to say for himself.
world is full of suffering. Every living organism suffers. Animals kill other animals to eat. And it always ends with death, torn apart or wasting away. This is what surrounds us. This is what's happening outside those walls, every hour of every day. It's our ethical responsibility as sentient beings to lessen suffering. That's what it means to be human. To understand that it is your duty to transform this world into something better. That's what the founder meant when she said that we can turn the world into a work of art. Despite what happened to him, Byron was right. We have to keep going.
This is blasphemy. Byron was punished for failing the Founder's trials. And you want us to dig deeper? Just because you can't accept that suffering is natural and necessary?
Please, everyone, stop using the public frequency. If you want to argue, use your interface or speak in person. Founder bless you.
Founder bless you.
Hey.
Nice to meet you, 1K. My name is Atal. I've been following your expedition. As you can tell, your discoveries have had quite the impact. I decided to take a stand. It started with our cats. Damien and I have had a lot of them over the decades, and I've watched every last one of them grow old and die. And that got me thinking about our responsibilities towards other life forms. What's life to most living creatures? Fear, hunger, pain, and in the end, death. Involuntary cessation of existence. That's horrifying, 1K, horrifying. And we are the only ones who can make it better. Do that. It's more than most people do. But that might be changing.
Hey! Attention all citizens. The Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition is now open to visitors. However, please note that due to an unauthorized strike, public transport will be temporarily unavailable. May the Founder be with you.
Oh, 1K. What are you doing here? Ah, I assume it has something to do with your expedition? I must admit I haven't been following the news. Sorry, been a little lost lately. Oh, that's... well, I suppose it shouldn't really come as a surprise. They were very close, you know. After she disappeared, he went away for a long time. On a research expedition, he said. To be honest, everyone assumed he was working out his grief over being left behind. Many of the first companions were deeply shocked by her decision, particularly Byron. That's the thing. I wanted to talk to him about something, but he wasn't responding to my messages, so I came here to talk to him, and he seems to have vanished. No. The truth is that for the longest time, he barely left the museum. He was always at his terminal, working day and night. I asked him what he was doing once, and he said he was saving the past. I did, on my way here. And I messaged most of his other friends. He doesn't seem to be anywhere in the city at all. I suppose so. It seems a little unethical, but then... it is just his work terminal, right? Good luck with everything, 1K.
So this is what Cornelius was working on? Strange. It looks a bit like the blueprints for the Somnodrome, but no, it's not quite that. Is he trying to isolate something in the buffer? Maybe Melville can make sense of it, but I think this might be a dead end.
I need to finish up with the mayor. You can head back to the VTOL whenever you're ready. I'll meet you there. No rush, though.
Dude, you're 1K. It's so nice to meet you. Sorry about Byron, dude. That's a real bummer. Lately, a lot of folks have been saying maybe that Byron dude is right after all. Like, maybe to really be excellent to each other, we have to build something new and bodacious. Don't know what will happen now that he's had that bogus accident. Yeah, I come here all the time. He's a wise dude. I've asked him a lot of dumb questions, and he's always taken the time to answer them.
"1K, what can I do for you?" Whoa, inner peace doesn't come cheap. Come back when you've got 1,000 credits. So, something else perhaps? Please come back if you need anything else.
See, I told you, it was Athena who said... We must listen to the wisdom of the ancient writers, or we will fail the Founder's trial. The megastructure must be rejected. You are the Founder's chosen, but you are in grave danger of going astray. Heed my words, 1K. If you fail this trial, a year from now, New Jerusalem will lie in ruins. Anyone can see the truth if they are willing to open their eyes. Have you not read the books of our ancestors? In every one of them, the same story is told, again and again, that the pursuit of knowledge can only lead to death and grief. That is what all the great ancient visionaries foresaw. Listen to their warnings. Seek happiness in tranquility, and avoid ambition. Exactly. The wisest, most imaginative thinkers concluded that the ideas embodied by the foul spirit of Prometheus must be rejected. It is no wonder the founder picked his image for her trials. Take this insight with you when you return to her island.